Hey, what is up, y'all? Welcome to, I am getting sloppy over here. Sheesh. Hey, what is up, y'all? Welcome to a special unboxing. I am super excited about today. I am your host, Edward Euler. Happy to be joined by y'all. Today, we are busting out High Frontier for all. I don't know what I'm doing there. All right, go with it. So, I got this in the mail direct from Long Pack Games. This was airshipped from Ion Game Design to myself. I know that Scott over at Phasing Player also was sent a copy as well. And I have yet to open up this box. I am really excited about it. So hopefully we're going to delve into this together. All right. So we'll see how this goes today. This should be fun. I have High Frontier 4 All. I have High Frontier 2. I have High Frontier 3. I'll be honest, I don't know if that's the first or second edition, actually. That's on top. But nonetheless, we're going to compare it to all of the previous editions. If you are familiar with High Frontier, I think you'll find that interesting. If you're not familiar with High Frontier, oh boy, this is going to be a fun one. Yeah, I still think you'll find it interesting. This is going to be the longest unboxing in history. So be prepared, get some coffee. I have some bubble tea. Actually, it's not bubble tea. It's, that's not true. There are bubbles in my tea. It's bubble tea. I have boba. Oh, it's good. All right. So I'm ready. Hopefully y'all are ready. We have a sturdy shelf behind us. So let's get to it, shall we? And, yeah. It's going to be a fun one today. I'm excited about this because I literally have not opened the box yet. It's still in the bubble wrap. Let's get into it, shall we? Come on, let's do this. All right, there it is. Well, that's not entirely true. That's all of them are there. So this is the older one, the first/second edition, which has Colonization in it. We'll get to that one later. We're going to need room, so I'm going to move that way over there. This, the box that's behind me, the lid, this is the third edition that somehow, some way misspelled Phil Eklund's name. I don't know. And there it is. That's it. So let's do this, shall we? Now, if you guys are familiar, there is somebody that I've looked up to for a long time, since before I did my very first unboxing. And I thought, in honor of such a monumental unboxing as this is, I feel like there's only really, honestly, one thing to do at this point. So, all right, big thanks to Hello Gregor for the inspiration. All right, so let's check it out. So, Colonization is in there. Terawatt and Futures is in there. And clearly I opened this upside down. That's a much smaller box than I was expecting. All right, there it is. We're off to a good start. They spelled Phil's name correctly, seeing as his logo's on the box too. I feel like they should have. So there we go. All right. So, High Frontier for all. For those of y'all that are waiting for the 5th edition, I wouldn't wait, because this is going to be modular expansions that are going to be coming out with this. Now, as you guys know, we have partnered up with Ion Game Design to basically bring you all of their games. And I have it on good authority that this is going to be the definitive edition. So this is the one that you're going to want to get. So there we go. 1 to 5 players. A lot of people are asking me to do solo. So there will be a solo. I'm going to be doing a 3-player with the whole kit and caboodle in the next couple weeks with Jeff Spear, who did the player aids for High Frontier for All, as well as Joe Rashunanan, Dr. Joe, he of multiple PhDs, all that stuff. So the ones we did previous, going to be doing that again in a couple weeks, and I'm going to be doing a solo after that. But anyway, let's go ahead and open it up, shall we? So just to let you guys know, like how seriously I take this unboxing today, that Jeff Spear, again, the guy who made the player aids for High Frontier for All, has asked me, hey, can I come by and see the cards? Because he wants to see the cards in the game. And I was like, yes, but you can't until after the unboxing. You're going to have to wait because I wanted to unbox it with y'all. So here we are. All right, so let's dig into it, shall we? There are bags. Lots and lots of bags. Okay, cool. All right. One other thing that I figure I should point out is, you know what? Let's go ahead and move that there. That camera right there, the PTZ camera, this camera was actually the whole impetus. The original impetus for buying this camera for the show was for this game. So yeah, there we go. So we're gonna go ahead, we'll zoom in on all of this stuff like there, but we'll keep it on this camera for the most part. All right, cool, good, all right. Yeah, the box is way smaller, like it's way thinner. Like the 3rd edition, so we'll go and just like I totally expected it to be a way bigger box. Fully, like I'm surprised right now, so, but that's cool. I'm okay with that, but just FYI. All right, so here we go. Damn, that thing's heavy. All right, so we have bases and stuff. So these are the same as High Frontier, the 3rd edition here. They're just little like Skittle size, I think is a fair way to put it. Little like mushroom top little guys. Okay. Oh, you remember the little candies that like came on the little paper? What are they called? I don't know, but you know what I'm talking about. All right, cool. All right. So anyway, so that's what's in those. There we go. We have regular wooden cubes. I mean, seriously, they're regular wooden cubes. I don't think I need to break those out, right? I think. I mean, right? Okay, cool. All right. All right, there's that. We have Tiddlywinks, which, if you're familiar with previous Sierra Madre games. So Sierra Madre is now owned / partnered with Ion Game Design, which is Phil's company, and then it's Jan Menker and Bezame. Oh God, I don't know Bezame's last name. Anyway, with Ion Game Design, and so they are one and the same now. So if you were familiar with Sierra Madre games, you are going to be familiar with Tiddlywinks for damage stuff, everything else. Some are transparent, some are opaque. You get the idea. They're Tiddlywinks. I think we can move on from that, right? Yeah, yeah. Yes, the red cubes are socially distancing from one another or from the other cubes. You'll notice they are in bags within themselves. Oh, Jeff's in chat. Hi, see? So they are. And there is a gold star. I missed the gold star. There is a gold star in there. I'll be honest, I don't know what the gold star is for, but it's a gold star. All right? So there we go. I like the pastels as well, Scott. I do. Yeah. So, plus yellow's in there. Although, I'll be honest, if yellow wasn't, I'd be okay with it. I'd probably play the purple. I like the purple in there. All right, cool. So there we go. There's those. We will put the tiddlywinks back. Oh, let's stop that. Okay. No, not smart dots. That's it, Eric. The little, candy that always stuck to the paper, and they were terrible. And yeah. So. All right, cool. All right, good. So now we have more of the beads, but just like I will actually grab those back. There we go. So those guys and these for water, okay? So there we go. These are glass. These are wooden. Water, not water. So there we go. Okay? All right, cool. Ooh, plastic ships. And it's always important to have a die in a plastic bag, all right? So, 1, bad. So, don't roll a 1. There you go. All right. Do we really need? No, we don't. There we go. We'll just put that. There we go. So you guys can see that better. All right. So now we're going to zoom this stuff way in. Let's get that out of the way. Let's see. Man, colors are off today a little bit. There we go. God, that is a really good camera. There we go. So that's what the ships look like, okay? So they're oh. There we go. There we go. So you guys can kind of see the detail on these. All right. So there we go. So cool little, let's go to scanning electron microscope level. Yeah, well, if we're gonna, it's the whole damn reason we got the camera. Well, not the whole reason, but this is like the driving factor, right? So there we go. All right, cool. Ships. Anyway, I'm going to keep these handy for when we break out the map. In fact, I'm going to keep it all handy so when we break out the map. Rulebook or cart? Let's go rulebook. Yeah, let's go rulebook first. And by rulebook, I mean rule books. All right. There we go. All right. So let's go ahead and start, bring the camera back a little because I think that was a little excessive for, bring it even further. There we go. Now, so core rules, exactly what you think they are, okay? The appendix, so I'm gonna try and put these in order. So, I'm gonna go ahead and give you a hint. There. Space Diamonds, which is the intro game, which you probably won't see. on heavy cardboard, but it is available. We'll go through this here momentarily. All right. And then we'll probably do it in that order there. All right. So we'll start with the read me first part. Let's go and bring that out just a hair more. There we go. All right. So set everything aside. I am not going to go page by page. Well, I might. We'll see. Okay. Hold on. Let me break out the glasses. Not these sunglasses. Not the Hello Gregor. Uh-oh. What did I do with my glasses now? Oh, no. No, they're not. Oh, no. Oh, on the shelf next to me. Locked. Here we go. All right. There. All right, don't panic, and welcome to the High Frontier universe. Since its first edition in 2010, High Frontier has been the definitive science-based adventure game of space exploration and development. Based on real science and technology and designed by a bona fide rocket scientist, although technically there is no such thing as a rocket scientist, but I digress. I figure if Phil wants to call himself a rocket scientist, he's allowed to do so. It has been fine-tuned by a team of enthusiasts for a decade to be playable, comprehensive, and packed with the latest developments in engineering and planetary science. This document provides a progressive learning path, a full list of components, and advice on how to engage with the complexities of High Frontier. It also explains how this edition differs from High Frontier 3, lists reference material, and gives credit where credit is due. That's really cool. Nice. Now, let me go and show you guys this as well. So this is really cool. Okay? So, what are you? Are you a board gaming novice? Are you after a fast, lightweight family game? If so, tune into a different channel. Might I suggest, say, Dice Tower. Excellent content. Check them out. However, if you are an experienced board gamer who has never played High Frontier before, or after the Essentials Only High Frontier experience, consider going up here to the core rules and what is that one? That is the Race for Glory. That's it. Or if you are after the fully fledged High Frontier experience and or a High Frontier veteran, the whole kit and caboodle, along with the expansions, which you're going to be seeing here on Heavy Cardboard soon. So there we go. But it's cool. Space Diamonds. Don't even bother with the core rulebook. Just start there. All right? Then, if you wish to go into the level 2, if you will, start with Race for Glory, the Essentials Only High Frontier. Do the tutorial. If you don't know the rules, you may want to use the core rulebook for reference. And then start with the High Frontier core rulebook, exclude Module 0, and add modules and or variants to ramp up the complexity. All right. Well, that's excellent. I mean, there you go. All right. So, well, that's pretty cool. Good. I like that. And before you get to that, it actually shows all of that stuff. Has a reputation for being difficult to learn. I'll be honest. It is not that complex a game. It is actually mechanically not that hard. There's a lot of little things here or there. There's a fair bit of chrome, but the game itself is really not that hard. And in fact, if I may be so bold, I'm just saying there's that. I mean, there's a reason this show exists, right? So there you go. So you have the components, yada, yada, yada. There you go. I love that they list the Ziploc bags in there. There you go. Okay, right. Hey, Jan, welcome. All right. The lead developer and lead designer at Ion Game Design, Jan Manker, in the house. Hello. There you go. Little FAQ there. Not gonna lie, pretty awesome to see that right there. That's really cool. All right, and then the various modules right there, okay? And then there you go. And if you're insane, the BIOS Earth campaign. Starting with BIOS Genesis, then BIOS Megafauna 2, then BIOS Origins, and then it rolls into High Frontier. Whee! All right. I don't know. Oh, and Phil's here as well. Hey, what's up, Phil? All right. I know Jess is here. Jeff is here. Just missing Basime and Paul. And Andy, I'm sure, is lurking somewhere out there. So awesome. All right, so there we go. So, well, you know what? Let's go ahead and bring that back a little. So I said that we would, let's go in the README first, okay? But seriously, legitimately, how awesome is this, right? And I do want to stress, I do have a partnership with Ion Game Design here, right? So obviously they do sponsor playthroughs and stuff like that. Our stuff's in the rulebook, all that. I'm not getting paid for this. I'm excited about this. So I can just be totally honest with you guys. Not that I'm not. Anyway, you know what I mean. Anyway, I think this is awesome. Just this right here. Hey, where am I and where are you and where do we want to play? Right here. That's exactly what this game needs. I'm glad that they broke it up this way. So, all right, let's go through here. All right, so changes from High Frontier 3 being this giant ass box right there. Okay, changes from that edition here. Quite a bit of changes, as you can see. And there. This, now, obviously I'm interested in all of this, right? But I'm curious how the map is different, right? So let's, that's what I'm kind of focused on, especially for today, because, I mean, it's like show and tell, right? And this is a lot easier to see here. So let's see. Okay, atmospheric sites indicated by a new icon. Route yellow goes to Lutetia instead of Cirrus. The route blue goes to Cirrus instead of Comet Encke, or Enk, not sure. Signposts show burns but not hazards. Okay, burn spaces and intersections have been added and removed. Okay. The Earth Space Elevator has been removed. Okay. 8 new space elevators added to the map. Okay. And many aerobrake hazards have solid entry routes to emphasize that spacecraft may move into the aerobrake hazard and then exit without landing on a later turn. This is mainly useful for the Air Eater refuel up. Okay. Bernal home orbits added. Heliocentric map locator, that's always nice. That's good. And site changes. Okay. All right. Nice. All right. So let's go ahead and keep going. Okay. Now let's bring it back out a little. So what do we have here? We have site name, the size, the spectral type, hydration, whether or not there's water, science, different types of things that can be built on there, heliocentric zones, so where can you find them on the map, and then High Frontier 4 changes. This, I assume, are the changes between the 4th and 3rd and 4th edition. So we have both pages here, and that's it for the README first. All right, so now let's go ahead and move on to Space Diamonds, which is, going back to the very first thing. If you are new to board games, how awesome would that be? Yo, dog, I hear you're new to board games, but you're interested in space? How about we break out some High Frontier? Who thought that was even possible, right? Like, that's insane. But let's see how this works. Okay, so it says to do that. All right, so here we go, Space Diamonds. Space Diamonds is designed to be your first game of High Frontier, introducing you how sails and rockets move, and getting you comfortable with the game's subway map representation of our solar system. The Space Diamonds rules are formatted in the same way as all other rules in High Frontier. You will play using only a portion of the core box components listed in this section right here. Or actually, this section, technically. There are two ways to play: an easier game where everyone uses sails, or a bit more challenging game in which everyone uses rockets. All right, so sails, everyone travels using the same type of photon sail that navigates space slowly, but without water, i.e. fuel. Ignore the rocket rules, which are written in blue font. So ignore everything written in blue. So like all this stuff. Okay, cool. Rockets. Everyone travels using a nuclear, laser, or electric rocket. You will travel faster than using sails, but you need to concern yourself with fuel management, i.e. math. And then the core differences, they're marked with a club icon, the differences between Space Diamonds and the core game. All right, cool. So as you can see here, the component list, if you're just using sails, is the map, the rockets, the 5 spacecraft cards, the Discovery chits, and some sail mission cards. That's it. And then it breaks out down here the various things on the map that you actually need to concern yourself with. That's it. That's all of the components in the base game. That seems pretty approachable. Now, don't get me wrong, the map looks insane. Now, I know what the map represents, like I know how to read the map now, so it's not intimidating. But if you look at it, oh my God. But it's really not that bad, right? If you add in rockets, you add in this stuff. The second ships in each of the player color. The player mats, notice, no player mats over here. The 15 rocket mission cards. The 5 dry mass chits to represent fuel. And wet mass chits. So whether that's water or dirt, right? All right, there you go. So that seems totally approachable. So if you're intimidated by this, then just focus on that. No harm, no foul, right? That's cool. Oh, hey, Bezame's here too. Wow. All of Ion, it sounds like, is here. Awesome. Hey, y'all. All right. So there we go. And little reminder here, hey, if you're playing with rockets, you start with a sail and a rocket mission. In this case, the sail mission is accomplished with your rocket. Okay. All right, cool. And of course, because it's Phil Eklund, we have little thumb note or footnotes, not thumb notes. Okay, all right, so moving on. What do we have here? Again, if you're not playing with rockets, ignore the blue. All right, so these are different than the core game here, but the Discovery chit placement. All right, cool. There shows sequence of play, how movement works. Okay, good. Everything's good there. That's pretty laid out, pretty simple. And the majority of this is ignored if you're playing with just sails. So right here, you got some things. Bonus burns, hazards. Yeah, this is totally approachable, in my opinion. It's a lot of text, but again, if you're playing with just the sails, ignore this, half of that. Ignore from here up, so in a line there and a line there, but you got this. And then the majority of this you ignore. There we go. That's super approachable. That is less than 90% of the Euros that you see on this show. This is lunchtime-esque. Who would have thought that a lunchtime game, you could say High Frontier and lunchtime. So there you go, that's Space Diamonds. Totally approachable, okay? But let's say you want a step up, you say. Let's go, Race for Glory. All right. Core rules not demonstrated in Race for Glory, so there's no dirt refueling. You can't voluntarily discard cards and tokens. I'm trying to think like factory assisted takeoff and landing, ray gun prospecting, and negotiated factory assist and factory refuels. Those are the main, and that's kind of the main stuff, but okay. That's not bad. So now this, the essential high frontier, it says. I realize it's a lot of white here. Sorry about that, guys. How does a Race for Glory differ from the core rules? So here. As the essentials-only version of High Frontier, Race for Glory does not include supports, events, and any associated sub-rules. I would argue supports are kind of important, but I understand what we're talking about here. We're stepping people up to that. I understand. It also excludes one type of hazard, radiation belts. When reading the core rulebook, note the diamond icons. A filled diamond indicates a core rule that is modified for this version of the game, the Race for Glory. Empty diamonds indicate a rule that is not used in the Race for Glory game. So empty diamond, skip it. Filled diamond changes the rule. And then the box below provides information on those elements of the core rules that are modified in or excluded completely for Race for Glory. If the section of the core rulebook is not listed in the box below, that is sections A, E, F, L, and M, then all of the material in that section is used as written. So, okay, easy enough. Finally, the core rules golden rule applies to Race for Glory rules 2. Any text on a car or scenario trumps anything in the rule books. Okay, easy enough. All right. Various scenarios. So, Race for Mars. We have In Pursuit of Happiness with an I, Race to the Top, Race for Patriotic Glory, Race to the Rescue, and there you go. Those are the 5 different scenarios in this. Okay, and it says the third scenario, which is Race to the Top, is actually just a standard High Frontier game using only those rules relevant to Race for Glory. The other 4 scenarios include cooperative and competitive options. If you were playing High Frontier for the first time, perhaps after just having read the tutorial scenario Race to Mars or the second scenario In Pursuit of Happiness are good places to start. Race to the Top is the full Race for Glory game with a normal game length, which is 48 turns, and normal victory conditions. Race for Patriotic Glory is equivalent to the standard scenario, but with a narrower set of victory conditions and variable game length. Finally, Race to the Rescue is the second cooperative scenario. So, you know, if that's your thing. So, there you go. Then a little tutorial. Breaks down the anatomy of the cards, the player mat, the board, i.e. the map, how to set it up, which I'm a big person. I am a big fan of, okay, tell me how to set it up and then show me what it looks like. That is invaluable. As somebody who reads the rules and has to get ready for when people come over, you know, if you are that person in your group, having this coupled with this is really, really helpful. And one other really subtle thing, I don't have to flip pages. I don't want to have to read it and then look at a picture here or read it and look back at a picture here. So again, it's a small thing, but as the person who has to do this, I appreciate that. I digress. Okay, and let's face it, a lot of y'all out there are falling in the same boat if you're watching this. So there you go. All right, just going back through here. Lots of examples, that's good. It's a lot of words, but at the same time, guess what, y'all? It's High Frontier. See, you would think that looks, we'll get there. I promise. It's not nearly as scary as it looks. I promise, I promise, I promise. Yeah, this looks really well laid out. I'm stoked for this. Hold on one second. That's what I thought. Okay. So basically what the rest of all this is an example of play. right? We are now about to start the early game section of this tutorial. Here you will learn how to assemble a hand of patents and then build a rocket while at the same time gathering the fuel necessary to put that rocket into space. High Frontier proceeds in a series of years, which we'll refer to as years when talking about a specific year number, such as year 22. Each year is divided into 2 phases, player turn phase and the sunspot cycle. In the player turn phase, starting with the first player and proceeding clockwise, each player undertakes a turn during which she may perform one operation, move a rocket in the order of her choosing, and then undertake any number of free actions at any time during a move. So basically what this is, the rest of this rule book just about is, okay, so here we go. So this will be the player turn phase in years 1 through 4, what's going on here. And then years 5 through 6, et cetera, et cetera. You get the idea, right? So this is all example of play, walking you through the various steps of everything. That's what I thought this was, and I kind of glossed over that. My apologies. There, okay, and there we go. Final scoring, et cetera, et cetera. All right? So that is Race for Glory. So, start there. Take a look at this. Move on to this. And then we get to the actual meat and potatoes here. All right? It's thick. So there's that. And just to put it in context, I mean, the Read Me First really is not. Space Diamonds, really not, right? Race for Glory, getting there. But yeah, core rules, here we go. All right. These core rules, including the glossary at the end, comprise the base game and are expanded by the tutorials, variants, and modules. All right. Here we go. And then it reminds you, hey, psst, Space Diamonds, introductory game. Slow your roll here. Don't bite off more than you can chew. There is no shame in starting with that. Absolutely none. I love that they are doing this. Love it, love it, love it. Now it breaks down examples of the cards. Up front, boom, here, stuff, information that you're going to want to know, as well as the player mats here. All right, good. So far, everything looks really, really good. Breaks down the various planets and sites on the map. That is good. And a little bit of a zoomed in look, which is basically what we do on the playthroughs as well. All right, with the new camera and stuff. So there's that. Ooh. I love all of the pictures and the examples. This is so nice. This is so, so nice. And again, setup. Thank you. Okay. I forgot to turn the fans on in here. It is getting toasty. All right. More setup stuff. I mean, I understand having all that and then more setup stuff because there's a lot going on here. I understand that. Okay. It explains how you create stacks in your outpost. That's good. I'm loving the way this is laid out. This is really, really good. And since I know everybody from Ion is in chat, I'm curious, does this have living rules as well over on the website, y'all? So I said we weren't going to go page by page. I lied. I mean, just the sentence, thrust triangle activation. Now you're getting into like some bigger words, and I can see how High Frontier gets the reputation that it gets, but it's really not as bad as as you guys probably think it is. All right. So yeah. All right. Jeff, is that a trick question? Of course it has living rules. I figured, so make sure you check that over on Ion's website for the living rules, okay? I'm loving all the examples in this. That's going to help so much for folks. I mean, every page has them. I guess I could zoom that out a hair so I don't have to keep moving the rule book. There we go. There we go. That'll work. Supports, which in my learning experience has been how I learned how to play the game, was with supports. So there you go. Like adding in supports, right, is this page and this page. The end. That's it, right? So not so bad. And then the sunspot cycles right here for various events. Bad things happen. Space is hard. Glories right there. Negotiation. If your group is a negotiating group, then there you go. And now the various modules. Okay, so we have politics. Delegates, that is part of politics, right? Yes. Module 0, politics. So all of this here is all politics, if you wish to include it. And then the glossary. Lagrange point. Tell me I'm not the only one that every time you hear Lagrange point, you think ZZ Top, right? There we go. So that is the core rules. All right, we got one more. And this one we may go a little bit quicker through, is the appendix. So various variants and scenarios. BIOS Earth, how to carry things forward. And then Diamonds for All. Oh, wow, there are a lot of different variants in the, wow. So there are 12 different scenarios and variants in this. Wow. So let's see. These include game variants in solitaire, cooperative, and narrative scenarios. Variants are all structured in the same format. Any deviations from core and or module rules are explicitly stated. Deviations can include changes to setup, changes to the rules that govern gameplay, and changes to the game duration and victory conditions. So, okay. All right. Altruism would be a solo, it looks like. Hermes Fall is solo. The Quick Start can be solo. The CEO is solo. Now, there are others that are multiplayer or cooperative or competitive. I'm just mentioning. BIOS Earth, there is the whole thing can be, you know, the whole kit and caboodle. So various. Same with that one. And let's see, the Sirens is 1 or more. Red Giant is 2 or more. Diamonds for All is 1 or more, and it can be competitive or cooperative. And the Panspermia scenario is 2 to 4 competitive. Nice. Strategy guide if you need help, which Yes. Why didn't, so various, like, kind of a Q&A here. The inevitable Phil Eklund essay that all of his games come with. Patent card descriptions. So descriptions on the, well, I'm not going to say the history of, because a lot of these don't exist, but the story behind each of the cards, I think, would be a good way to word that. And there we go. Let's get back into the unboxing part. So since Jeff is here with us, at least online here in chat, he created these. And he's going to be the guy running the stream when we do the whole kit and caboodle here in a couple of weeks. So Jeff created these. So thank you, Jeff. So there's two of them, but you get the idea. All right. Various operations that you can take on your turns, free actions, prospecting. We actually used this during our last playthrough of it when we were using the components from High Frontier 3 to play with the rules of High Frontier 4. We actually used an earlier version of this in our playthrough. So, all right. And so it's a trifold. So here, let's bring that back. There we go. Sorry about the glare here, guys. It's a lot of white, which doesn't show well on camera. I apologize. But that is one side there, and then there we go. Okay. Jeff, you're welcome. Oh my God, look at it. That's funny. All right, cool. So that is the player aid. There are two of those. So theoretically, you're either going to make copies of this or you have one for each side of the table, right? So there you go. Yes, right, Thomas says player aid looks great, but I do find it funny that the aid is like 6 pages. It's High Frontier, come on. And it has the whole kit and caboodle. Yes. I mean, what do you expect? I mean, it's High Frontier, right? Just saying. All right, let's go. Let's bust out the cards, shall we? All right. Oh, I don't need it. It has a little pull string. Collective breath in Sweden. I'm just kidding. It's a little humor. But I appreciate, see, how nice is that? Like, it's a simple thing, but as somebody who tries to cut their nails on a regular basis, and I don't always have Jess around with her nails. All right, cool. All right, now we will go ahead and bring this back in. Cool. All right, so I see these have the Race for Glory right there on the corners. So we know, let's go ahead and take a look at these first, all right? We'll go black side first because it's been a while since like the camera's gotten a break. All right, so various refineries there. They're broken down obviously by type. Robonauts. The artwork looks good on these. And here's the thing. Everything outside of the symbols up here in the corner, the one mass, the S, everything, and the Robonaut, everything else is flavor. So, important icon, important information, the end. The rest of it is flavor, which I do obviously recommend you guys checking out. as you play the game, because it's an immersive experience game, right? But I'm just saying that important information clear, important information clear, important information clear. Okay. Then on the flip side, the exact same situation. Important information there, and the rest is flavor. So there we go. All right. Yeah, that looks good. The layout is nice on these. They're easy to see, and not gonna lie, everything has been colorblind tested, right? So take a look at the colors, and those are pretty true to color. That's what they look like in person here, not just on camera. So those look good. If we were to flip these over, pretty clear. And by pretty clear, I mean completely clear. So, yeah, excellent job. Important information there and there. Yeah, it's well laid out. It's easy to tell. And if we're here and that is facing away from me on one side of the table, and that's over here at my side of the table, sitting here, with my glasses on, mind you, right? But over there, I can read that easily. That's refinery, 3 mass, and it's a V-type, right? So that's super, super easy. So it's clear and it's easy to see, even though that's, what, 4 feet away from me or so, right? So my point is, the important information is clearly laid out, and over on the other side, putting that, as far away on the camera as I can there, it's a refinery, it's a 2 mass, and it's a V-type. So yeah, super, super easy. So yay, well done, Ion, in that regard, all right? And that the same goes regardless of the color on that. It's all really, really super easy for me to be able to tell from here and there. So yeah, I'm happy with that. Nice. All right. So that is the Race for Glory cards there. So the camera has something to focus on. All right. Is that just a zoomed in picture? It looks like of Venus and of Earth, of all the various things around there. Excellent. Very cool. All right. So crew cards. There we go. Yeah, let's bring it back a hair. There we go. So again, colors to me are very clear. These could be a little bit close, but I think they're still clear. So just, yeah. Well, suppose we ought to do like this. Now, obviously the gray crew, but again, that is going to be one card in the entire game, right? So let me get these out for you guys. There we go. There we go. I think that shows it pretty well. All right. Ah, okay. For the variants. That's what that is. See, I'm not familiar with the variants, so fair enough. All right, cool. Nice. And don't laugh and don't freak out, but if you're anything like me that worried about this getting bumped, with this being a, let me show you guys this. Let me break open the table. Not literally, but yeah, opening up the drawers, my Geek and Son table here. Painter's tape, and you can make a little loop and push this down onto the board and it won't hurt it, and the painter's tape won't damage your board or the card because it's a laminated card, right? So nice. Anyway, moving on. So the colors I think look really, really good on that. And again, the information is really, really clear. Now it does have some smaller symbols on this one for the various types over here. as you can see, but even so, I think these are really easy for me to be able to tell at a normal distance. And on the flip sides as well. So how about we do like this? And I'll take some in both directions so you guys can see. Yeah, probably had to make it consistent. These are pretty much the same, just different crew. Okay, so you get the idea. But there you go. I think, yeah, again, I think they did a really, really good job with the card iconography here to making it, to keep the flavor in there and the information that if you're playing High Frontier, you're probably going to want to check out because this is just cool, interesting stuff. But if you are the type that, yeah, I don't care, just give me the actual information, I think the information is separated clearly enough to where you know where to look on the cards and it pops. So like the 2 mass and the 6 radiation hard, this box right here is what's the information that you're going to want to know, and the V. So all of that is clearly delineated between that and the flavor, okay? So, all right. Yeah, so is that clear to you guys at home? I'm curious. Are you guys, I mean, any thoughts on this? All right, so we'll keep going while I wait for you guys to answer that. And if you guys have any questions, which the cards have been out for a while, so I'm gathering not really. And then more cards. Oh, I should have broke out. Yeah, I should have, but you know what? We can always do that. So hold on one second. Let's try this. And if anything, I think these are clearer. Ah, that's good enough. That gives them all out there, okay? Jeff. So there you go. That's the different colors. I think they're all really, really clear to me. Do I think the map is big enough? I don't know yet, Alex. We will find out, all right? So there we go. All right. So gives you an idea. All the cards. We're going to be getting to the map here in a bit, I promise. Various spacecrafts, sails, sail missions. So these are going to be for the introductory game, I believe. All right, so sail mission deck, rocket mission deck, and then just as an example, all right, cool. So that's all the cards in the game. Player boards. just toss that there. All right, so player board. So you have your fuel strip here, your thrust track up top, and your various outposts and everything else. So, yeah. Now, when I compare this to the last edition, you guys will be able to see the differences on these, all right? And then, so, there's those, all right? Then, the Sunspot Cycle card. Not card, I guess board, I think would be a better way to word that. Okay. The Sunspot Cycle for the Race for Glory. Module, no. Version of the game, I think might be a better way to put it. Okay. And if you're playing with, so we have the Sunspot and the Political Assembly. So if you're playing with politics here, okay. And it's a player aid for Race for Glory as well on the other side. So if you're playing playing that edition, that version, I like that it has a map legend over there for everything. How the different steps to be able to move your ship. I love that. Yeah, good stuff here. All right. And yeah, here, let's go back to the player board since you guys are talking about those. Yeah, functional, clear. Yeah, that looks really good. It's clean, right? It's laid out well and it's simple. It's not TMI. It's not cluttered. That's the biggest thing. Because let's face it, the map can be already intimidating for folks. So I think having it laid out well there, yeah. Cool. All right. All right, let's move on to the punch boards. And by punch boards, I mean board, singular, uno, one. Yeah. There we go. Let's move these out of the way. Player boards and those. All right. That is the punch board. So wet and dry mass, stuff. So now the question is, how well do they punch? Let's find out. Pretty well. And it just popped out. So yeah. And they're good thickness. You guys can see that. Pretty happy with that. And by I mean completely. Like I shouldn't downplay that. Yeah, these are thick cardboard. The player mats and these boards, they're a little thin, but they're fine. I mean, all they are is, you know, they're gonna permanently just lay on the table, so no big deal on that. Yeah, these are totally fine. They're not gonna get dog-eared easy, so you can see like me messing with the corner on this and like banging it against my finger. It's totally fine. So yeah, all right. But the punch board, really, really nice, really simple, and it just pops out. So there we go. Good. That looks nice. And now let's face it. I know what you guys are waiting on. All right, so give me a second. Let me get the box out of the way. And all the rule books and everything else. Get the cards out of the way. Because I want to be able to zoom out and show you guys. There we go. But I'm going to lay out that stuff in addition so you guys can get a true feel for how big this is, or not, okay? All right, so we're gonna set these aside for now. Dun, 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 dun. Space is very empty. That is true. She's pretty. It's almost like I had it nailed. Yes. So this is going to be about, if not identical, very close. I mean, real close, if not identical, to the 3rd edition size, even if the map is different. So, I don't know how well I guessed on laying out the camera pre, but yeah. Let's kind of go over this section by section a little bit, shall we? Because let's face it, you guys are interested in that. I am too. So here we go. Move this stuff out of the way for right now. We'll come back to it. All right. Everybody wave. Hi. We're here. All right. So the various lines in this game, as intimidating as this may look to begin with here, right? Get that back where it belongs. There we go. All right, cool. There. Are travel lines, right? And any of these intersection points, Lagrange points, so you can change direction. So they're not actual physical points in space. They are just little places you can change direction in, right? So there you go. I mean, it's really not that bad. So hey, for instance, if we want to go to, let me see, let me find some examples. I'm looking around the board. So, yeah. Yeah, you guys can see that. Lagrange points here. Holman intersections, that's actually what I pointed at earlier, like there. So following along, I'm trying to see, so like, I'm trying to find a good example, like follow the red line to Mars. That'd be a good one, right? So let's follow the red line from low Earth orbit to Mars, right? Let's go and kind of bring that in a little bit here, right? So we start in low Earth orbit. You see a rainbow of colors that come from low Earth orbit. And then we go up to the cycler spot and then follow the red line. Here comes along to all the way there to that Hohmann point. Then from low Earth orbit up to the Sol Mars Lagrange point, follow it around there, and then you have a choice of what direction, how to get to Mars. So there you go. Let's see, the blue one is how to get to Ceres. So again, starting at low Earth orbit, we follow the little blue line. Now, I should point out, there are different ways to get there. This is the most direct route. Okay, comes around. Comes way out. Hold on. We'll just move the map. There we go. There, and then comes back around, and hey, there's Ceres. So there we go. That's how we get to Ceres. So to give you an idea, that's kind of what we're looking at. So let's get this center back up here. And yeah, let's just take a tour around the map, shall we? See how well we guessed on spaces. All right, so over there, we have for exploitation, for building bases out here on various types of planetary or of different, I forget the term, things in space to be able to, the different types that you can build on. Exploitation, the various victory points you're going to get for building bases out there, onto there, okay? And then kind of moving around, over here we have Mars, and we have Earth, obviously, we have the Moon, etc. So we'll keep coming on over in that direction. Obviously, we have the Sun over there. All right, let's Devastating event, loss of human life, aiding an opponent. These are different awards you can get, and newbie miscalculation. Some of these can be voted on, if not all of them, right? So I find that amusing. Way over here, you have Saturn and Saturn's moons, which, following the light green line, I'm looking, let's see. Goes from Saturn to, well, we'll be able to follow it along as we go. Then we have Uranus here, we have Neptune, and I think that's, I've never made it out that far. I gotta be honest. All right. Space is hard out there. Devastating event should have my portrait on it, Brian says. So again, just going around the map. Various glory chits for being able to explore out in those reaches. Sorry, there we go, hold on. Going back there, coming back. Just showing off various spots on the map. Jupiter, obviously, along with Neptune. So there you go. So we're going to be able to, as we stream this is why we got this camera. I mean, hey, let's take a look at what's going on. Okay, you know, me, Jeff, or Joe are going to be attempting to land on Mars, stuff like that. So we have our ship. Let's go and bust out a ship. Let's make it Jeff, not me, in case it blows up. So, you know, he's in various spots out there. Maybe Jeff has made it onto a location. Maybe Jeff builds a base. All right. So what I'm trying to do is show you guys, and let's find some busted explorations. Let's go and get some of the, oh, we tried to explore and fail. So, say there, just trying to make this realistic. Yeah, so just put it in context, what they look like. So there we go, okay. And crew. So there you go. This is a fair representation of what it will look like, okay? So somebody had asked, and I forget who it was, okay? So let's see. Let me scroll back up and give a little credit. Who asked the question? The map, let's see. Okay, I tried to find it, I give up. There is the larger map that you could print out. Is it necessary? I don't think so. I think this is going to be big enough, honestly. So like I said, this is pretty zoomed in. Finger for size comparison, okay? So this is super zoomed in, but without stuff on there, like I can read that with my glasses on, I can read that says 10C North Pole, right? And has 4 drops on it. But obviously the the larger version of the map that you can print off, you can do so. So there you go. That puts a little context for the board. Is a 6-fold board, so that's one panel, right? Now, when you bust out and you're playing with the whole kit and caboodle, so let's go ahead and I'm gonna have to zoom this out as far as possible now. Let me find my remote. There it is. Okay, so let's zoom this out. All right, table's crooked, but you get the idea. When we play this, we're probably going to have the panels on top of the board to where it's not going to be in the subset of the Geek and Sun table that I have. So let's go and bust out for when we stream. It will probably be something along the lines of, it'll look roughly, right? This is just me trying to get it all to fit on the table, so to give you guys context. Okay, so everything does fit, okay? There's that. Then we would probably have, say, or even, and then like the market up here with the various cards, which, I'm not going to do this exactly, but you get the ideas. But you get the idea, right? So yes, and full disclosure, this play surface, the green surface that you see for my table, for the Geek and Sun, is actually physically smaller than what my old table is. So even though it's a smaller play area in the, inset play area, there's still plenty of room for High Frontier. Okay? I don't know. Let's ask Jeff. Jeff, are we playing with Module 0 or not when we stream it? So there you go. That is High Frontier for all. Now, I'm going to go ahead and put this stuff back in here. We'll zoom back in now that you guys have seen that. Let's get it back to the board, okay? Stream will be module 0, 1, and 2. So there you go. Whee! And if Jeff is willing, what I'm thinking about is when I do the solo playthrough, I might have Jeff here to where he and I kind of tag team on the solo game so that I make sure I'm not making any mistakes, anything like that, et cetera, et cetera. There's that, there's that, there's that. All right. And then what I'm going to do now is I'm going to compare this edition to the previous editions. So if you just wanted to see this, then thanks for hanging out. I appreciate y'all watching. Like, subscribe, do all that stuff. There's a whole bunch of y'all liking. I'd appreciate your thumbs. And now I hear Martin in my head. Give us your thumbs. But in a much creepier voice. All right. So I have the cards set up here. I want to make sure, not that I'm going to compare or confuse the editions, but all right. So let's go ahead and start out with the board, shall we? So let's go ahead and, since that is going to be, I'm going to do this like High Frontier 4, then 3, and then go on backwards from there, including player boards, cards, etc. Okay? So give me a moment. Oh! Wait! Wait! Don't go anywhere yet. Hold on, I lied. I totally forgot about the expansions. I mean, all the cool minis are in that. So hold on, don't go anywhere. Damn it, how come nobody said anything? We got these. What? Hold on. Sheesh. All right, before we get into that. All right. Good, I appreciate that, Jeff. All right, cool. So, shall we do this in order? We will do Terawatt and Futures first, plus cool minis. All right, let's go. All right. That glare is killing me. All right. Hello, Gregor. Be proud. Tell me you guys got a kick out of that, right? Tell me you did. God give all the babies everything they want. All right. Here we go. Oh, hold on. We need to zoom in on this. Thanks, York. Good looking out. All right. Terawatt and futures. Module 1. Minis are in the other one. All right, whatever. Anyway. More bags. I think the term is big-ass cubes. Okay? Or stars. Little wooden sticks. Glass beads. We have our cards. Freighters. And thrusters. Probably ought to straighten those out for y'all. Here we go. Again, the information, clear, easy to see. Really, could I make these straight? Like, maybe? Like, seriously? My table is all cattywampus. I'm gonna have to fix that. All right, here we go. So, those are the cards in the Terawatt and Futures module, Module Uno. Two new patent decks, freighters and thrusters, obviously. There we go. And then more patent card descriptions. There you go. Hey, I hear this game has expansions. People got jokes. My God, it's full of stars. Cards. Bags. Stars. All right. All the same, but for player boards to go alongside your player boards. So let's see what that looks like. It's almost like they fit together. Oh, look at that. Look. Prettiness. It's like they planned that. There we go. That's so pretty. And yes, this would still fit, but barely on my table. And there is a reason why we are going to play with the panels installed on the table instead of in the inset. Okay? Cool? Cool. All right. So that is Module 1, Terawatt and Futures. Okay, cool. And yes, handy dandy little slide box. And because I know people are going to ask, I will show you that yes, they fit in the box as well. So I'll get there. We'll come back to that. Colonization now. God give all the babies everything they want. Oh yeah, definitely lunchtime game. The whole thing, Corey. Totally. Hear that? Flash. Ah. Get over here. So that comes out of that. Y'all want to see them up close, don't you? I know you do. All right. Bonus. Okay, cool. Ah, camera doesn't like that. So we have that. Oh, that's clever. There we go. All right. So you guys can see those pretty well, I think. I was just trying to be quiet so you guys could take it all in. There you go. Minis. Everybody likes their plastic dolls. I understand. I am not completely always not in that crew, so I hear you. Other way. Other way. These do have a very particular way in which they go in. That would be it, as would that. There we go. All right, cool. Got that figured out. All right, so cards also. When does this ship? I don't know the answer to that. After we stream it, I know that. All right. More colonists and the Bernals. Again, I think they've done an excellent job of making these very clear. So, and the colors to be easy to distinguish between the things. So well done, y'all. That makes me happy. It's a minor colonist. Just gonna just throw that there. November, December. So there you go. Now I want a pet rat with a implant. I'm just saying. Okay. All right. Cool. Hey, I'm allowed to have a little fun with this. So we got that, and then we will break out the boards, and I will show you guys those as well. Get the whole player board back in here. Got it over here. Mm-hmm. Okay, now it doesn't fit on my table. Now I have to actually put the boards on to be able to make this fit. Really? Seriously? There we go. I like it though. Looks great. Looks really, really good. All right, so now let's go through the rule book, and that will complete High Frontier for All in its current state. Meaning, I know there are more modules coming. So let's go and bust this back over a moment. There is that. Looks like a nice place to live, honestly. Looks good. The rule book looks consistently laid out between all of the rule books. And another essay by Phil. There we go. Oh, so by Jeff, our Jeff here. Use this table for questions like, I have a V handcard, and in space, I have an ISRU 3 buggy. What world should I industrialize? Well, so glad you asked. There you go. All right. There we go. Well, that's a handy dandy little. And there's a reason that I play it for the experience when I play with Jeff. All right, very cool. Dig it. So now that is High Frontier for All in its current iteration. Now, we are not done, so don't go anywhere yet. Because now, if you're curious to see how it looks compared to the previous editions, that's what we're going to do now. We're going to bust out the cards, the player boards, and of course the map to be able to compare it to the previous iterations. If I can do this without, there we go. All right, so there's that. There, oh. I promised you guys I would show you guys that it all fits in the same box, right? So let's go ahead and do that, okay? All right, so here is the box. That is the box lid. A moment. A lot of stuff in here, so bear with me. All right. So we have that. We have 74 rule books. I'm kidding. No, I think they're laid out really, really well. I think it's really well done. Okay, so we have that. We have the player aids. Then, oh, don't tell me I lied. Damn it! I think I did. Yeah. Okay, it won't quite fit. I lied. So it's going to take up more. But, think of it this way. Okay. Now that is everything. But, I mean, because let's face it, everybody puts these on their shelves vertically. Okay, it looks pretty good, not gonna lie. Looks really good next to one another. So there we go, okay? All right, so now let's go ahead and show the various comparisons. So let me get this stuff out of here. Plus I forgot some cards anyway, so that works out. All right, here we go. I want player boards. Put all that in there so I don't actually forget what's in what. there. So player board and cards and the map. So let's go and bust out the map and show you guys a comparison, direct comparison between the various editions. By the way, I have somehow, between Jess and I, we have 3 copies of the second edition. Don't ask me how or why, but we do. So if anybody wants one, let me know. All right, so there we go. High Frontier for all. You know this because... All right, so now let's bust out the 3rd edition map. Okay. There we go. Okay. The other map, the other one. So here, I will match up the corners just a hair. You can see that we're talking, what is that? Maybe 3/4 of an inch shorter the new one is. You can see, right? Up there at top right corner. And about the same down here at the bottom. Okay. So there you go. Size-wise, it's just a hair. Yep, I do. All right, so here is High Frontier 3rd edition, 4th edition. 3rd edition, 4th edition. So, there we go, okay. Basically, panel versus panel on that, all right, as the differences there. Okay. We'll keep going. So like second panel, like I'm not gonna do like this the whole way, but you look at, get off, hold on, the box is in the way. Ugh, there we go. So like looking at Jupiter, Jupiter looks like Jupiter to me here, a lot less so here, right? Now, I will say that the other side does have the giant version, so but I mean, the giant version, like, it's massive. It doesn't fit on my table. It literally will not lay flat, but there's that. But it's nice, but you better have the space for it in the 3rd edition. So, yeah, I am liking the 4th edition. So that was the 3rd edition. And while we're here and we have the 3rd edition out, hold on, I will compare the player boards. 3rd edition player board. Let's see, might be a little close. Let's see. So, 4th edition player board, the one we've been looking at. 3rd edition player board. I'd say good changes all the way around. Way cleaner. Much prefer. Much prefer. Okay? Yeah. This looks modern. Just saying. Okay? So there you go. So now we will go from this and the map, then we will go back to the 2nd edition and continue our way backwards. Okay? All right? Yeah, okay, and Dom Fluff says, yeah, I played on some pretty big tables. I've never felt like they were big enough for the big map. Exactly, right? I'm just saying, okay? All right, cool, so there we go. All right, so 4th edition, upcoming. 3rd edition, it feels better. Yeah, all right, cool. So we'll keep 4th edition around. We'll take third edition and put that up. I suppose y'all want to see cards too before I put that completely up, right? In the third edition, yeah, let me show you all this. Not going to go through all the cards, but just as an example, okay? Move that up. Grab some of the newer ones. Nope, wrong deck. There they are. Thrusters. Yeah, I'd like to compare apples to apples. So a moment, y'all. There we go. All right, so let's go and show this. Get that out of the way. There we go. So, third edition thrusters on the left. Fourth edition thrusters on the right. Again, just looks clearer to me. All right. Third edition. Fourth edition. And I'll actually keep these around so I can then break out the second edition to show you guys those as well. All right. So it gives you a pretty good idea. All right, so give me just a moment. There, trying to keep all of this relatively organized. There and there. Keep that there and that there. All right. Keep that out. Now let's go ahead and bust out the second edition, shall we? Okay, all right. Again, fourth edition, upcoming. Scoot that over. There we go. All right. Now, the one nice thing I will say about the second edition is it's a bit of a different size box. All right. Oh, fine. Oh, yes, I understand, but you get the idea. The thrusters are, you get the idea of the card design. That's the whole point of what I'm trying to do. Bear with me. So, second edition, ships have come a ways. Hey, tiddlywinks. Right? So, over here. There we go. Okay. And actually, yeah, the cards are really similar, aren't they? Yeah, I don't know that I really need to, yeah, you basically have seen the cards because the card design is pretty much the same. That's right. Okay. But yeah, tiddlywinks and the cubes and the basic ships, which was fine. That's fine, but I mean the nicer ships are nicer. All right, so we'll get all that out of the way. We'll bust out the map. Player boards. We'll get there. Get off me. There we go. So that is the earlier one with the expansion. Okay. And, yep, okay, we're good. All right, so there you go. So somebody had asked to zoom in on this earlier. So, all right, let's see if we can do that. Fourth edition, like Earth, Moon, etc. Second edition, Earth and Moon, etc. Okay, all right. You're right, Andy, and we're going to be doing it here on the stream as well. All right. So, gives you an idea, though. The map has definitely come a long way. So, there you go. Smaller footprint, though. All right. So, there we go. Player boards now. So, we have 4th edition. A little glary over there with that, but then we have 3rd edition and the previous edition. So, from this to that to this. There we go. Okay. And the cards pretty close are the same from the 2nd to the 3rd edition as well. And then so however you want to, for the expansion stuff, okay, from the earlier edition. So there you go. So that's it. There you go. That is High Frontier for all. So we have already a playthrough of High Frontier 4 with the 3rd edition components, 3-player, with me, Jeff, and Joe. That was up. It's been a day. It's been about a year, I think, since we did that. We have next month in September, we're going to be doing the High Frontier for all with modules 0, 1, and 2 with Jeff, myself, and Joe again. And then probably a couple weeks after that, but still ahead of delivery, Jeff and I are going to get together and do the solo game and stream it for you guys as well. So look for that coming up. I'm looking forward to this. I'm excited. Now, the thing that I've learned about High Frontier is it is a competitive game. But it's all about the stories and the experience that comes out of High Frontier. Be like, you know, that time I tried to land on Mars, whatever, and blew up majestically. Or I landed on Mars. You know, you get that feeling of accomplishment because space is hard. And that's modeled really, really well in this game. And there is some die rolling, but you can mitigate that. And you can, all depends on what it is you're trying to do and how much risk tolerance you have. It's really hard to do stuff in space, so maybe less risk is good. There's a reason that NASA checks stuff and JPL and SpaceX and everybody else checks things 3,700 times before they actually do it. Yeah, so there you go. That's High Frontier for all. I'm stoked about this. The production looks great. I love that they've broken it down and made it more accessible for folks. I mean, there's a reason we're doing the playthrough, the teaching and playthrough videos to begin with. But even so, for those that either aren't interested for some reason or want to just go about it themselves and want to, you know, ramp up in complexity, that's what the Space Diamonds is for. I think that's awesome. There is no downside whatsoever to that. The fact that, oh, let's make this more approachable for people so that we get more people interested in these games. Isn't that awesome? Doesn't that help us all as a community of gamers that enjoy heavier games? We should support that. We should welcome that. We should embrace that. There's nothing but good stuff that comes out of that collectively, because the more approachable these games are, the more people will want to play them, the more people we have to play with. And, you know, more people check out Heavy Cardboard, sure. but more people we have to play with. And it brings it onto a new generation. There's no downside whatsoever. So kudos to everybody over at Ion Games. So from Bezame and Jan and Phil and Paul and Jess and Andy and Maddie, and I think that's everyone. So kudos to everybody involved with this. I think there's a lot of reasons to be excited for this. So looking forward to it. When exactly we're figuring out the schedule, it will be in September. I mean, let's face it, it's what, August something? It's August 30th right now, so obviously it'll be September. My guess is around 2 weeks from now, you guys will know in plenty of time when it's going to be, and the three of us will be getting together, possibly with masks, probably with masks. So I beg your forgiveness for that, but safety first, given the world situation that we live in. But yeah, super stoked for this, super looking forward to this, and I hope you guys are as well. So if you guys enjoyed this, consider giving it a thumb down below, subscribe. If you guys enjoy the content that I'm putting out, whether it's the podcast, the YouTube channel, whatever, if you haven't checked out the podcast, check it out, heavycardboard.com. It's a weekly podcast. Again, once again, yay. So check that out. But if you think some of the content is worth your time, if you find it entertaining, you find it helps you save money because you're only buying games that you think will be a better match for you and your game group, or you hate me because I'm making you spend money on good games, consider throwing a buck or two over towards the show over on pledgehc.com. Certainly would be appreciated. Check out High Frontier for All, the live stream coming up in a couple weeks. Like I said, I think this is the type of bridging the gap from lighter gamer to heavier gamer that we all should be supporting. So consider supporting it if this is a game that you think you and your group will be interested in. And I'll see you guys. Let's see, today is Sunday. I will be back tomorrow for the weekly look ahead. We have content coming from Tuesday through Sunday of next week on the channel, as well as on the podcast. So check that out. I will see you guys at noon tomorrow. Until then, wear your masks, social distance, be kind to one another, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Take care, everybody. I am stoked to play this. I cannot wait. So Jeff, looking forward to that. Can't wait.